Valheim is an incredible survival game, but what if you could tweak it to your liking? What if you could build entire Viking fortresses in seconds, wield magic from the beginning, or find legendary weapons, take on quests, and trade with NPCs instead of just scavenging the same old loot? Sounds cool, right? But here's the thing, modding changes Valheim in unexpected ways. Some mods might enhance your experience, others could completely change the game, sometimes in ways you might not like, or even break it. If you're here for a how to mod guide or a list of best mods, this isn't it. My goal is to help you understand the pros and cons so you can decide it for yourself. Should you mod in Valheim? When I first looked into modding, I was careful because that's just how I am. I wanted to know what I'd gain and what risks I might run into. So I did my research. In this video, we'll cover the good, the bad, my own experiences, and insights from Reddit, Discord, and player polls. Plus, some security tips so you don't make common mistakes. Have you ever played modded Valheim? Did it make the game better or worse? First things first, are mods even allowed in Valheim? Or is this one of those use at your own risk situations? Could you actually get banned for modding? With over 40% of players heavily modding and 35% using at least some quality of life mods, it's worth checking. The short answer? No, you won't get banned for using mods. But Valheim devs Iron Gate have made it clear. Mods are not officially supported. That means if a game update breaks a mod, you're on your own. Most mod creators update quickly, but you can't rely on them forever. And if you're playing multiplayer, be careful. Not all servers allow mods. Always check the rules before joining. I saved my best tips to make sure your modding experience runs smoothly and safe for later, so make sure you'll stick around till the end. Before diving into mods, let's talk about what Valheim already offers to tweak your experience. You might not even need mods for certain things. You want an easier experience? Lower the difficulty. You hate raids destroying your base? Turn raids off. You think the game is too easy? Try very hard, no maps, no portals. Valheim already gives you some flexibility, but if you're looking for even more customization, that's where mods come in. One thing I quickly realized is that even small mods can make a huge difference. You don't need a total overhaul to improve your experience. For example, adding just 8 extra inventory slots might not sound like a big deal until you realize you now can carry more loot home without making extra trips. Or what about auto-sorting chests? No more spending an hour manually organizing after every adventure. And then there's farming. I love growing my own food in Valheim, but let's be honest, manually planting and harvesting every single seed one by one is just tedious. If you've got a big base with lots of mouths to feed, that's a lot of time spent clicking instead of adventuring. A small mod that lets you plant and harvest in batches saves time without feeling like cheating. It just removes the grindy part. Modding can enhance your experience when you find the tweaks for things you don't enjoy doing. Those kinds of mods are usually easy to integrate into your game without making it feel totally different. It's one thing in Valheim that annoys you enough that you'd mod it. Alright, let's talk about the downsides of modding. Because let's be real, not everything works perfectly. Not all mods work well together, and sometimes they can outright break your game. When I first dove into heavily modded gameplay, especially to test everything for this video, I quickly ran into trouble. Suddenly, my usual keybind started doing about 5 different things at once. I couldn't even open up my building menu, and my character kept randomly swinging weapons or doing unexpected actions. It took quite some time and a good amount of frustration to sort out all these overlapping settings. So trust me, start slow. Overloaded keybinds. Ever installed a handful of mods and then realized you suddenly have 20 new keybinds to memorize? Trust me, it happens. Before you know it, you're reaching for a hotkey cheat sheet just to swing your axe. Some mods look amazing until you realize they come with pages of instructions. moment I'm testing a heavily modded world, and half the time was spent just figuring out how things worked. If you're not careful, modding can turn into more work than fun. The key takeaway here is mods aren't always plug and play. And if you go all in too fast, you might spend more time troubleshooting than playing. Have you ever been overwhelmed by too many mods at once? What's your funniest mod fail? Let me know. So, if you are ready to dive into modding, here are some must-know tips to make your experience smoother. This is non-negotiable. Before you install any mods, make sure to back up your worlds and characters. That way, if something breaks, you won't lose everything. You can turn on the save to local option every now and then to save a local copy of your favorite worlds or characters to your computer. Resist the temptation to install 30 mods at once. Especially if you are new to modding, start with a few quality of life mods and get comfortable with how they work. Overhauls and game-changing mods, save those for later. Use RT Mod Manager. This tool makes installing, updating and managing your mods way easier. Plus, it helps prevent conflicts between mods, so you're less likely to run into weird issues. And before installing a mod, make sure it's still being updated. Some older mods break when Valheim updates, and if a mod hasn't been touched in months, you might run into crashes or bugs. The more mods you add, the more controls you'll have to manage. Some mods let you remap keys, but others don't, so be ready for some keybind confusion. And funny enough, while recording this video and starting to gathering the footage, the game was updated and half of the mods I was going to show you for demonstration purposes are broken right now. So now there's me, who has to be patient and wait until everything is fixed so I can finish this video. Mods should enhance your Valheim experience, not make everything too easy. If you remove all the challenge, you might lose what made the game fun in the first place. And if you are already dabbled into modding, what's your number one tip for beginners? Drop it in the comments. Conclusion. My final verdict. So, after playing Valheim every way possible, from brutal survival to godlike modded worlds, here's my honest opinion. Modding is personal. Some love it, some hate it. But since Valheim isn't competitive, play how you want. At the end of the day, mods should enhance your experience, not replace the fun. If you're skipping all the challenges, are you really playing the game? That's the balance I try to find. What's your take on modding? Love it or hate it? Drop a comment. I hope this was helpful. See you on the next one.